We took the Monolith to drag week. It didn't go so well.
Oh, there's a Super 8.
And there's no brakes. Black car and we're on fucking dusty gravel. I'm gonna have to edit that out. All right, we made it. We're at drag week. It was a bit of an ordeal getting here. Long story, but thanks so much for my friend Wally Christensen that came out and helped. I would have turned around and gone home a number of times, but he got us through things. We haven't slept much. I'm totally overheated, totally exhausted now. I can't think straight, but we made it through tech. We've got our number, we've got our class. We're in the D list, so they're doing things a little bit differently this year. They're running cars in groups, so the fastest cars are in the A list, and well, I'm in the slowest group in the D list, so I'm not sure exactly what time we're going to run in the morning, but it's hot. It's hot, and we're gonna show you some of the cars that were in the tech line. There's a lot of cars here, so we'll show you a time lapse of the tech line this morning. We're about midday right now, so we made it through. So all the hard work for us is done. We can relax for the rest of the day, and then tomorrow the real fun starts. But obviously we'll shoot more. We'll give you in-car videos and stuff tomorrow, but for the rest of today, we're gonna relax, and maybe we'll just walk around and check out some of the other cars here, and maybe show you a little bit of that too. So if you haven't subscribed already, now's a good time to do it. Stay tuned for actual runs down the track tomorrow. right, we're in the lanes. We're in the first section. Hopefully you can hear me with all the noise around here. We'll see how it goes. In-car videos next.
Because we haven't seen any serious hot rods. Pepsi Joe, 1193 at 104. And Kevin Jackson, 1404 at 95. He told me his goal is to get into the 13s this week.
You couldn't see it in the video, but on that run, we actually ran a 1217 with a 9 at 110.22 miles an hour. And the 60 foot was kind of soft, but I felt that the clutch was slipping excessively when I dumped it. And that would explain, why we lost in the 60 foot and ET accordingly as well. The mile an hour is a little bit down too, but it was afternoon already by the time we were running, so we were running in the heat of the day, and the conditions were just, the air conditions were just not there. So, this is part of running in the D list. We, are the last ones to run, so we don't get the good air. And if we look at the race pack data, red is RPM here, yellow is our clutch slip, and green is our drive shaft RPM. From where I dumped the clutch here to where the clutch locks up here is like 0.92 of a second. So there was a ton of clutch slip here. And again, I felt it when I was driving the car. So we decided it was too late in the day. We just needed to pack up and hit the road for the next track. But for the next day, we would put in another quarter turn of clutch and hopefully get it to lock up a bit quicker and get the 60 foot back down, and the ET improving as well. But at this point, it's like, let's pack up and let's hit the road. So that's next. Around a mile an hour. Oh, that keeps the garments from mile per hour. Oh, fuck. Look at the lineup to get out of here. We're going to be overheated before we get out the gate.
Get your pants and everything on.
Hands on, yeah. All right, it's day 2. We made the trip to Indy. We've got the car ready to go. We're just waiting for the call for our group to the staging lanes. We made the drive last night, but the last 100 miles or so, the car was making some noises that are concerning, driveline noises. We were under it this morning. We couldn't find anything obvious. We looked, the axle bearings look fine. The drive shaft yoke and the transmission looks fine. The pinion yoke, all of that stuff looks okay. So there's nothing obvious that we can find. So we're gonna risk it. We're gonna make a run, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna investigate further. But man, it's gonna be another hot one today. We are absolutely exhausted. We'll see what happens with this run. Wish us luck.
You need to return to Tanya in time slips. Thomas Brissy, we need you back to the time slip area. Once again, Thomas Brissy, you need to return to Tanya in time slips. Do not leave the property without doing that first. Ed Holberg coming up right now. He is a former Superstock K Legal 87 Mustang LX. And the Mustang 1216. Brian, why is the
here's our ticket from the second day. Again, with a smoke show behind me, you couldn't see the scoreboards, but I think you might have heard the announcers say we ran a 12:16 at 110. Almost identical to the first day, same 60 foot. I accidentally staged the car a little bit deep, and when you see the race pack data in a second, you'll see that we spun the tires pretty bad on that hit. Again, it was like just before noon, so the track was hot and slick already, so it was no big surprise that a stick car like mine would spin the tires. But I gotta say, I do like the 500 Pro Tree. I seem to have that dialed in on this run. If we look at the race pack data on this run, this is our green is our drive shaft speed, and you can see as soon as I dump the clutch here, we get massive tire spin. So, you know, I can't say that a quarter turn of clutch made that much difference. The track just wasn't there. So we spun the tires, ran the same 60 foot, ran almost the identical ET in mile an hour as the day before. So you heard the bad noises. We brought it back to the pits, and we decided that we were going to try and figure what was wrong with the car. So we dug into it deeper and, you know, drained some oil out of the rear end, looked for shavings, didn't see any problems there. Decided that we were going to do the same thing with the transmission, but then realized that, well, if there were problems with the transmission, there's nowhere that we're going to get parts for that. And it was late in the day already. So anybody that might have had spare rear end parts for us if we needed, you know, would have been on the road too. So being in the D list really sucked because we're in the pits looking for help and looking for parts, and everybody else is gone and on the road already. We were completely exhausted. The heat was killing us, and we just decided that, you know, we just were in no shape to fix this thing and to push on. So we decided to pack it in, unfortunately. So that was the end of my drag week for 2022. It's day 2 at Indy. We made a run, but we're completely exhausted. We're completely overheated. There's something wrong in the drivetrain in the car that's making bad noises, and we just don't have the energy to fix it. And we can't even think straight anymore at this point. So unfortunately, drag week 2022 is going to end for us after day 2. So my perfect record of finishing all drag weeks is unfortunately broken this year. We tried, we came, we made 2 runs, we made 2 tracks, and then we failed. So yeah, that was our drag week experience. And it's pretty disappointing, not so much that I didn't finish. I've never not finished drag week, so that was kind of disappointing. But I mean, it happens to everybody, so I mean, that's not the bigger disappointment. The bigger disappointment is the realization that with my health problems, I probably can't do these things anymore, these drag and drive events. We were a couple of days in, and I was like completely blown, like completely exhausted, and you can't be like that on these drag and drive events. You've got to have the energy to push through, to fix things, to keep going, to continue. So this might be my last drag week, unfortunately. As for upcoming videos, well, I'm kind of pissed off with the Mustang now because it's been several years of fighting me and thousands of dollars that I really couldn't afford. So I mean, it's not even in the shop here anymore. It's off in winter storage already. I still don't know what's wrong with it, and I don't even want to deal with it. So it can sit there for a few years until I decide I want to fight with it again. In the meantime, I've got, you know, this thing that I really should be working on. But having said that, I don't have a lot of income anymore after losing my job last year too. So every time I do a video, I'm doing something in the shop, or in this case, going to drag week. That costs me money, and because I don't have a lot of income anymore, I can't really do a lot out in the shop here anymore either. I'm not making anything off of YouTube, by the way. For whatever reason, It's been well over a year and a half, and YouTube will not monetize my channel. I'm stuck in limbo with getting it reviewed. And if you're not in the YouTube Partner Program, you have absolutely no way to contact anybody like a human at YouTube for any help to look into, what's the problem here. So if any of you guys are watching that are in the Partner Program and can contact somebody on my behalf, I would really appreciate it, because I've tried everything I can do, and yeah, it's not happening. So this might be the last video for a while. I don't know what I'm going to do next, don't know what I can afford next. I've certainly put a lot of other things on hold that I shouldn't have, and now I'm kind of paying the price for that. So, things with my house that I really need to look after, so I need to start spending some money there. So anyway, if you've watched this far, thanks. I do appreciate it. If you've subscribed to the channel, I really appreciate that too. All the comments that people have left, and the thumbs up, the likes, I really appreciate all of that as well. So hopefully my situation changes and you'll see more videos coming up, but right now I'm not sure what the future is going to hold with that. So with that, again, thanks for everything. As usual, be kind and be humble, and hopefully I'll see you soon.